Hey there, I'm Charlotte and I'm the Gulf Coast Granny. And today I thought I would take you guys on one final tour of the Winter Garden here in Zone 9 in South Mississippi. I guess I'll start where all the action is taking place, okay? All right, these growing on this little fence here are peas, and we are harvesting peas every day off of these things. Do they get cooked? No. You know why? Because I eat them raw. They're amazing. I forget what varieties these are, but I want you to look at this. These are huge for peas. It's probably 3 inches long, and they fill up with a whole bunch of peas. Now this, I believe this was Little Marvel over here, and I don't think they taste as good, and they're not nearly as big. Look at the difference. It's about 1.5, 2 inches long. So, they're producing real good. Both sides are. Now, this, y'all, I can't wait to show you this. This is my first kohlrabi I have ever grown, and I'm so happy with him. He's about to be dinner. All of these are kohlrabis too, but they cut in a little bit late. There's one back there trying to bulb up. But the rest of them, they've got until March 7th to bulb, and after that, they're done. I've got a bunch of Rutabagas in here. Look at that. There's one. There's one. There's one right there. There's a little baby one. He's trying to size up. So, I've got a few of those to harvest. But again, I'm going to leave them in until the 7th of March, and then we're going to eat whatever they give us. And now, this is going to be one of the tomato beds like it was last year. And that's going to have room for about 9 tomatoes in it. We're also going to add, see where that little trellis thing is going to the ground? We're going to add 5 more feet of bed to this. So that will be it'll probably be another 5 tomatoes that we can fit in there. I want y'all to remember whenever I made the free soil from stuff in my yard last fall, that is the lettuce that's been growing in that soil ever since, and look how beautiful it is. We come and harvest it and just let it grow back. It's a cut and come again, and it has been wonderful. What I'll do is I will leave a link to that video for free soil in the comments below. I'll leave it as a pinned comment, and I'll also leave it in the description. So if you want to know how to do it, then you can watch my video, okay? And this is these Alabama blue collard greens. And y'all, they didn't really grow that well, and they didn't really taste that good. They were not as good as normal old collard greens. This here is a Brussels sprout plant that I planted, I believe, in November, and yeah, it don't want to do anything, so it's coming out. There's a few mustard greens left over here, and some of those collards that won't grow. This is nothing but weeds and grass. I've pulled everything out and fed it all to the chickens. There were collards and mustard greens in here, and I'll be feeding all this stuff to the chickens too. This was the pepper bed, and I ended up pulling them all out. I'm going to start over again this year, and I'm moving my peppers. They are going to be in a new bed that's going to go this way. I'll tell you about that in a minute. This bed here didn't do a thing all winter long, so it's coming out too. Those are supposed to be sugar snap peas, and I don't know what happened to them, but they didn't want to grow. Those are radishes, and all they did was turn yellow. But look at my roses, y'all. They are starting to get leaves all over them, and it is 49 degrees today. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's 49 degrees. They've already been through 2 freezes, and they're doing fine. Look at them. I'm absolutely impressed with them. And these were Walmart roses. Now we're going to come into the container garden. Oops, I guess Poppy locked it on me. There. This first thing is carrots, and they're doing the best they can. That is cilantro. I've been eating off of that all winter. I moved 2 of those Brussels sprouts back here thinking they might do better, and they are growing, but they're not producing any sprouts yet, so we'll see what happens. I might leave them in there till spring. That's empty, that's empty, that's empty. These are some beautiful red onions, y'all. Look, I'll pull one out for you. Oops, I broke him. They haven't sized up yet, but they're red, and I love them. This is some kale that I recently planted. These are some more peas that just want to die. These are my Windsor beans. Now they're growing. They look like they could use some nitrogen. I'm going to leave them in and see if they will produce any beans. This is some lettuce. These are radishes that could use some fertilizer. Here's some more of those terrible collard greens that I'm just never going to plant again. These, y'all, these are red mustard greens. They grew all winter long. We have eaten them nonstop, and I just love them. They have a beautiful mustard flavor, but they're not so spicy that you can't eat them. And I love them. And this container is also empty. This bench has some herbs on it and some aloe and some empty containers, but I wanted to point these out. I bought 12 of these at Dollar Tree. And I believe I'm going to plant herbs in those and stack them. Look, they do this. Look, you can stack them on top of each other, and they stay. And so I'm going to do them 3 high up against this fence, I believe. I don't know. I'm still in the planting stages of that. Now, this has daffodils planted in it, but they have not come up yet, and it's really not time for them to come up yet. But I can't wait till they do because they're beautiful. So that's pretty much all there is of the winter garden, y'all. It fed the chickens real good, and there's a few things that fed us pretty good. But there's going to be some changes coming around starting today. In a few hours, Poppy is going to get out here and build me 2 beds out of all that wood. That's going to be the base of one of them. And those 2x8s over there are going to go on top. And it's going to go right here along this side. Then the big boards over there, there's 6 of them. We're going to make another bed, and it's going to go right down this way. There's going to be some space in between so I can walk. And then next weekend, we're going to put another bed here at the back where that last white bed is, right there. And it's going to go all the way across. We're also going to extend that bed like I told you. And over here is where my sunflowers and zinnias are going to go this year. I'm going to make a garden bed this way, and it's going to come straight across here. And we're also going to be moving that container garden over here, and it's going to go long ways, just like the rose garden. I think it'll get better sun that way. So, those are the changes that are going to be happening. What we're probably going to do, too, is rehome these freeloading chickens over here. Y'all haven't seen the chickens in a long time. Here they are. Hey, Audrey. These are the most freeloading chickens I've ever seen in my life. Let me tell you, they got to my house on January the 4th of last year. They have not laid 1 egg since they got here. So they're going to find another home. Because who needs a chicken that won't lay eggs? We're also going to be creating some more screen area so we don't have to look at that. We're going to be cleaning this up because Poppy's made a mess trying to be a hoarder. And I'm insisting on him getting rid of that mess. Or at least hiding it so I can't see it. So that's the end of the line for the winter garden this year. Soon we'll be doing the spring garden. I'll be planting new stuff, and it's going to hopefully be a much better growing season this year than it was last year. Y'all stay tuned and find out. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you again real soon. All right?